1 Peter 5:8 tells us to be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And as we gather tonight, the world, in some respects, is seemingly falling apart all around us. It is really an amazing time right now. And it's kind of exciting. I watched a little bit of a service this afternoon. August Rosado, the evangelist, was preaching, and he's talking about the rapture, and he had one of those long shofar, I think it is, the Jewish horn, and he said, "Someday we're going to hear this." He's blowing on that thing, and last night I was over by the radiator, by the living room window, closing the curtains, and I heard it sounded like, I don't know if you've ever been on YouTube and seen any videos that are of sky trumpets, very mysterious sounds that they don't know where they're coming from. It's just this general trumpet sound loudly coming from the sky. And I was like, I thought I heard that. I'm like, wait a minute, what is that? And it had me stop. Then I realized it was the sound of the furnace running through the radiator. You could hear it vibrating. Okay, well that's what. Oh, I thought I was about ready to jump and just get caught up in the air. We know it is. I believe that we're getting close to that time, and just since this morning, things have changed. With schools closing and businesses, you read of businesses closing. Of course, with Sunday River, and a couple of all Apple stores in America are closed. All Nike stores in America are closing temporarily. And, I don't know if anyone here was planning on going to an Apple store besides maybe the produce market, but that's not what they mean by the Apple store. But it is, there's a lot of uncertainty. And that uncertainty leads to worry. It really does. And that's our natural response. I can't fault anybody for worrying, because guess what? Sometimes I do too. You get thinking about things. And, well, what if the economy? They're trying all these things to keep the economy going. And what if this happens? What if that happens? And you get kind of worried. And your flesh will carry it away. You'll get to some crazy points in your worry if you're not careful. The problem is with worry, it goes directly against the Scriptures. We know what the Scriptures say. And the truth of it is, we all know it. I'm reading us verses, and we're looking at a topic we all know perfectly well. But sometimes we need a reminder. And so we're looking tonight at Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. And tonight it's a word about worry. God's word concerning your worries. First of all, in verse number 6, we see a word about problems. Be careful for nothing. Be careful for nothing. We see here a caution to observe. Nowhere in the Bible do we ever see an attempt to downplay the existence of problems. Okay? I don't have the problems that others have. There's people, and you understand that. Pretty much any one of us can, if we're thinking about the problems we have, it doesn't take long before we can focus on somebody who's really going through some things that are a little heavier than what we are. But that doesn't minimize the fact that we're going through things, okay? Understand that. God cares about all of us. And even the problems that seemingly are small compared to other problems that other people are having, that's something that does concern the Lord, and He wants us to bring it to Him. And the fact is, the Bible does quite tell us that problems will stalk us as long as we live in the world. Over in Job chapter 14, I'm reading through Job in my Through the Bible reading right now, and I enjoy the book of Job. Job 14 verse 1 says, "Man that is born of a woman is